Well, week 16, we have quite a few close games and some pretty big disappointments. We have a lot of clarity, I think, in the NFC in terms of the playoff picture already. The AFC, I guess, it's still a little close in terms of the wild card, but yeah, it's pretty much set in stone here. First day, we had the Thursday night game. Let me get this going here. First game of the week we had Thursday night. Saints at the Rams. I did get this game correct. I did pick the Rams to win. Rams didn't win by a lot. But they just, they were just trying to run the clock pretty much for the whole fourth quarter. But the Saints kind of came back alive, tried to make a late run. But, yeah. This game got out of hand pretty quick. 27-7 at the third. So, just kind of trying to get that out. Try to get the time out the way just to close out the win. Puka went crazy. 9 for 164 and a touchdown. Having one of the best seasons as a receiver out of all the people for this year. A lot of first downs. Had about, 33, 41 first downs. Pretty much a lot of offense for this type of game. The Saints, they couldn't really convert anything on the fourth down, when they tried, desperation mode. But, yeah, time possession, 9 minutes. They won the turnover battle. I mean, no, they actually lost the turnover battle. But, yeah, it was a pretty, no, they won the turnover battle. Pretty basic game. Nothing crazy. Just a, closeout win. Got it close at the end, but, they're just trying to run out the clock. Saturday, we had two games. One at 3, one at 7. 3 o'clock game was the Bengals and the Steelers. This was Christmas Eve. Jake Browning, like I said, he's not like that. He just chunks the ball up. As you can see here, 3 picks. A lot of his interceptions were horrible throws. Touchdown was just a pretty basic. Mason Rudolph actually was in, and I believe I think it was Mitch Trubisky starting, and Mason Rudolph ended up coming in the game. But yeah, Najee Harris, like I said, he has one game that's good every 3 games. Joe Mixon didn't do anything this year and this game in general. T. Higgins had a great game, 5 catches, 140, and a touchdown. George Pickens had a great game, 6 receptions, 195, 2 touchdowns. A lot of offense, I would say, in terms of big chunk plays in this game. As you can see here, there's 33 first downs. Time of possession, the Bengals actually won the time of possession. Couldn't get it done, though. And it's kind of unfortunate because I picked the Bengals to win here because the Steelers have just not been showing me anything week after week after week in terms of their defense. And what do? Their defense shows up. Their offense plays great. It's just unfortunate. I did get this game incorrect. I did have the Bengals winning here, but yeah, when you score only in 1/4 of the game, you're not really going to win. But yeah, pretty boring Saturday game. Next, we had the Bills and the Chargers Saturday night. This game was very surprisingly entertaining. This game, honestly, the Chargers had this game. They couldn't close it out. Couldn't make a play when they needed to. Couldn't get the first downs when they needed to. The defense just couldn't get that one stop when they needed to. This game was very easily in reach for the Chargers. Would have been a huge upset. They just couldn't get it done. Just could not get the job done. Josh Allen, 237, touchdown and a pick. Not a great game. Only 15 completions. 23 for 33 for Easton Stick. He also ran for a lot of yards. So he had a pretty decent game. James Cook 70 yards and a fumble. Austin Eckler 15 for 65. Pretty good game. Gabe Davis had a great game. But there's like no weapons right now for the Chargers. But yeah, time possession, Chargers won. They also won the turnover battle, and they still lost the game. Had more first downs. Pretty disappointing. This was a pretty close game that they should have won. The Bills, I did get this game correct as well, so there is that. We had 6 12 o'clocks, starting off with the Seahawks and the Titans. Let me see. Oh, I'm sorry. Saturday was not Christmas Eve. It was Sunday. Sunday, the 12 o'clocks, we did have the Seahawks and the Titans. I did get this game correct. I did have the Seahawks winning. Geno Smith had a pretty good game. Didn't turn the ball over. Ryan Tannehill ended up getting the start this game, which is this is a big reason why they lost. Ryan Tannehill obviously is not going to get the job done. Rarely ever does. But, yeah, that was a pretty easy prediction there. Derrick Henry had a pretty good game. He's the offense, basically, As you can see here, 44 first downs. A lot of offense in this game. Time possession, 7 more minutes for the Titans. And I believe, so the turnover battle was the same, but the Seahawks had no run game. They didn't really have a pass game. Their defense just was able to get stops. Bend, don't break. And, the Titans just suck. And they just couldn't close out this. This was a very easy win for them. And they couldn't get it done. Next, we have the Colts and the Falcons. I did get this game incorrect. I did have the Colts winning this. The Falcons was not expecting Taylor Heineke to have a great game. He's very efficient, not turning over the ball. He did have a touchdown as well. Gardner Minshew didn't have a great game. Neither did Jonathan Taylor. But yeah, the Colts, man, when they just need some weapons. This team has been very inconsistent and very inefficient for a long time. I would say ever since Andrew Luck had left. Their offense has been out of sync. They don't have any key players on the offense. There's not one guy on the offense that I, think to myself, like, I truly think he's an elite player. Jonathan Taylor, he's almost that guy, but, it's just unfortunate sometimes. But as you can see, your time possession, pretty much the same. This game was, the fact that the time possession is the same is just really, really sad because the Falcons they actually lost time possession and they could have, they won by 20 points, The defense was going insane though for the Falcons. Pretty easy win. I think the Colts just played really bad. Plus their roster is very inconsistent. Next we have the Browns and the Texans. I did get this game correct. I did pick the Browns. We did have Davis Mills and Joe Flacco. Joe Flacco actually didn't play that great. He did have 2 picks, 3 touchdowns, 368. Davis Mills, only 15 completions, 149 with 2 touchdowns. Nico Collins had a great game. No. There was one other receiver for the Texans who had a decent game. It's not showing. I forgot. But Nico Collins did have one of the only 3 touchdowns. But, yeah. Amari Cooper ends up getting, I believe, the 3rd most receiving yards in the game, 4th or something like that, with 265, 2 touchdowns. No, I think it's like 5th. It's not 3rd. It's the most in Browns history. Had an amazing game, 24 yards a catch, 2 touchdowns on 11 completions. Pretty insane. Time possession, Cleveland definitely had the upper hand there. But this was a penalty game. 19 penalties. That is a lot of penalties. That's probably at least one every 4, maybe 5 plays. As you can see here, the turnover battle was, even the Browns won the turnover battle. They won the third down efficiency. They had more first downs. This was 46 first downs. This was a lot of offense. The ball was moving, but big win for the Browns. Packers and the Panthers. This game was very close. Most points the Panthers have ever scored, I believe, this season was 30. And the Packers almost choked this. Jordan Love had an okay game, didn't turn the ball over. Bryce Young also didn't turn the ball over. Probably his best game passing-wise. Chuba Hubbard, 16 carries for only 43 yards. Not a great average with 2.7, but he did have a touchdown. Aaron Jones had 21 for 127, 6 yards a carry. A lot more efficient there. DJ Chark had an amazing game, 98 yards, 2 touchdowns. Even Adam Thielen had a couple good catches there. But as you can see here, tons of first downs. This was 51 first downs. No defense was really played in this game. Panthers did win the possession time. They did lose the turnover battle, which is probably what ultimately cost them this. But this was a good game. Little spurts like this is what the Panthers need. They just need that 1-2 extra guys and a coach. Next we have the Commanders and the Jets. I did get this game correct as well. I did pick the Commanders. Jacoby Brissett, I believe, didn't come in until the second half. Comes in very efficient, 10 for 13, 10 yards a throw, and a touchdown over Trevor Siemian, 217, a touchdown and a pick on 27 completions. Breece Hall had a great game, 2 touchdowns, 4.8 carry, 95 yards. And Garrett Wilson had a pretty decent game. Logan Thomas had their only touchdown through the air, I believe. No, I don't really remember this game, to be honest. But as you can see here, time possession, New York actually was very dominant. 13 extra minutes, and they still lost this game. As you can see here, 22 penalties, 14 penalties for the Jets. That is the most penalties I think anyone has ever been called this year. But yeah, 22 penalties for this game. This was a very penalty called game in terms of just, I believe the average is about 10 to 12. This is 22, so double, which is insane. But yeah, pretty. Oh wait, no, I actually got this game incorrect. I had the Commanders winning this game. But yeah, pretty. The Commanders should have easily won. I don't know why Jacoby Brissett was not starting this game. He's clearly the best quarterback in the quarterback room. And they had Sam Howell in up until the second quarter, third quarter. And then Jacoby Brissett comes out and plays very efficient and almost gets them back in the game. Almost wins the game for them. Jacoby Brissett should never have, I don't know. They just shouldn't have kept him out. That was just very stupid of them. Lions and the Vikings is what we're coming up to next. Did get this game correct. I did have the Lions winning. This game was a lot closer than it should have been. Nick Mullins, 2 touchdowns, 4 picks, and they still were only down by 6. Jared Goff had a touchdown. Jahmyr Gibbs, 80 yards, 2 touchdowns, and a fumble. No run game for the Vikings. Amon-Ra St. Brown, 14 targets. 12 receptions, 106, and a touchdown. Justin Jefferson, 6 receptions, 141, and a touchdown. Justin Jefferson was making plays like crazy in this game. Insane contested catches. Very impressive. Very, very impressive. What's called catches late. I'm talking 3rd and 20, and he's catching them. Big plays. I would say the Vikings were a big reason why. I mean, Justin Jefferson was the single person that kept the Vikings in this game. Nick Mullins, definitely the 4 picks is what cost him this game. He threw some very, very, very bad throws. As you can see here, though, 47 first downs. This was a lot of offense, and also a lot of penalties. This one had 17, a little bit higher than average. The turnover battle obviously was lost. Detroit had 17 more minutes of possession time and still barely won this game. I'm telling you, those picks were brutal. The Sunday 3 o'clock games, we did have the Jags and the Bucks. I did get this game correct. Trevor Lawrence played horrible. 211, a touchdown, 2 picks. Baker Mayfield, 283, 2 touchdowns, no picks. The run game, both teams couldn't get anything going. Calvin Ridley, Mike Evans, both had pretty similar stats. 6 receptions for Ridley, 90 yards, 2 touchdowns. Mike Evans, 7 for 86, 2 touchdowns. Very reliable targets for this game. Also had 45 first downs. A lot of offense here. Time possession was 15 more minutes by Tampa Bay. You win the turnover battle. You win the time possession. More efficient on 3rd down. I mean, you're going to win this game, and that's what happened. As you can see here, way more points. And, that comes with winning the turnover battle. The Cardinals and the Bears is the next game. I did get this game correct as well. I did pick the Bears. Kyler Murray, 230, 2 touchdowns, no picks. Justin Fields, 15, 170, a touchdown and a pick. James Conner couldn't really do anything. 12 for 45, 3.8. Khalil Herbert, 20 for 112, 5.6, a carry, and a touchdown. Cole Kmet, 4 receptions, 107 yards. Pretty great game for a tight end. As you can see here, the Bears, 9 more minutes of possession time. I believe they also, the turnover battle was pretty much the same. Only 7 penalties this game, not a lot. A lot of punts, though. There's 11 punts. 3rd down conversions. It looks like that's about 55% for the Bears, and that looks like it's about 45 for the Cardinals. So the Bears were just more efficient in pretty much every category for this game, which is a big reason why they were able to win this. The last Sunday game, the Cowboys and the Dolphins. This game was actually very close. Cowboys should have easily won this game, I feel like. A lot of mistakes, a lot of unnecessary turnovers is what really lost them this game. Dak Prescott had a pretty decent game, 253, 2 touchdowns, no picks. Tua, 293, a touchdown, no picks. Tony Pollard didn't get nothing going. Raheem Mostert didn't really get nothing going. I believe he caught a touchdown, though. A lot of injuries for the Dolphins were happening in the first half as well. CeeDee Lamb, 6 receptions, 118, 20, almost 20 yards of reception and a touchdown. Tyreek, 9 for 99, no touchdowns. But I believe Waddle had a touchdown, if I'm not mistaken. As you can see here, not a lot of offense. I believe there's only 41. That's a decent amount of offense, but for these 2 high-powered offenses, this should have been way more. Brandon Cooks had an amazing touchdown as well in this game. Time possession, Dallas did win the time possession battle. The turnover battle was the same. Not a lot of penalties, only 11. But the defense just played a little bit better on Miami's side. That the fumble in that first drive for the Cowboys is ultimately, I believe, what lost in this game, because if Cowboys can't punch it in, you get at least a chip shot field goal, 20-yard field goal, or you score a touchdown there. 27-22, 23-22. It's a completely different game. But yeah, defense was very stout for the Dolphins in this game. Sunday night, very disappointing. Very, very, very disappointing. Broncos playoff hopes were crushed right before my eyes on Christmas Eve. And Blake Zappi, 25 for 256, a touchdown. A very efficient game. He was very comfortable, not a lot of pressure. And just a very easy win, I believe, for him. Very easy. Nothing, he didn't have a lot of pressure. This game was very pressure oriented, but there was no pass rush. We couldn't really do nothing. We start the first game. Patriots start the first offensive play. They go out and fumble the ball. We get it on the goal line. We can't punch it in. We go for it on fourth down. Don't get it. So we just completely waste the opportunity to get free points with a field goal there if we can't punch it in. And just very unfortunate that we first of all can't score a touchdown there, and then we don't kick the field goal. It's just it's unfortunate we can't punch it in. It's unfortunate we don't get the fourth down conversion, and then it's a pain that we just didn't take the points. It's three things, but this game was very poorly coached. That first drive and the last drive, the first and ending drives, Sean Payton called horrible. We held Zeke, 12 carries for 27 yards, 2.3, and I believe all of that was pretty much in the first half. He did have a catching touchdown, though. He's very efficient in the screen and the passing plays, though. Our offense was playing horrible. Javonte Williams, I believe, fumbled it on a screen pass. That was really bad. Javonte just didn't have a great game. He did have a kind of redeem himself, but I don't know. He just didn't have a great game. Not a Javonte Williams type of game. This game was just really, really bad. I mean, this game was slow. Nothing was happening. And then the third quarter comes along, and, we're the least efficient third quarter team in the NFL. Once again, we don't score any points in the third quarter. Our defense lets up 20 points. Well, technically, they let up 13 points. Our kick returner, Marvin Mims, he's a rookie. He bobbles the kick, so he fumbles it, picks it back up, tries running it again, fumbles it again, and then they run it in for a touchdown. So, they get a free 7 points just from a really idiotic play. You give them 7 points, 19-23. We kick a field goal or score a touchdown there, 19-26. 19-27, we're up. Just from those two individual things, if those would have went our way. So, just very unfortunate game. Russell Wilson played. His stats are going to show that they're great. 238, 2 touchdowns, 103 passer rating. But the amount of unnecessary sacks that he took in this game that killed drives really was annoying to see. We had about 6 blockers on a 3-man rush, and he manages to get sacked. And it's how do you manage to get sacked on this type of play? And I don't really know. Russell Wilson just did not play great this game. He couldn't get the ball, couldn't make tight throws. He missed wide open guys, especially in this game. In the game, very easy to win against the defense in the secondary that's very weak. I mean, we didn't even get Jerry Jeudy involved. We didn't get Marvin Mims involved. He had 1 catch. Courtland Sutton was out with a concussion. I mean, just on the first drive as well. But I don't know. This game just went bad, honestly, from the very beginning. Time possession, we won the turnover battle. We had 4 fumbles, 2 on 1 play. And we got strip sacked down in the red zone as well. And it's just a very, very bad game in so many categories, and I don't even know. Very easy win. Broncos choked at home in the snow-capped helmets again. Playoff hopes are gone. Off to 2024. Christmas Day, we did have 3 games. We had the 12 o'clock with the Raiders and the Chiefs. I believe it was like 11 o'clock technically. This was a great game. The Chiefs played horrible, only scored in 2 quarters, and the Raiders played great. Aiden O'Connell literally won this game by completing 9 throws for 62 yards. Can you believe that? What's going on here? Okay. Patrick Mahomes played pretty trash. 235, a touchdown and a pick. Zamir White had a great game, probably his best game of the season. 22 for 145, 6.6 a carry. Isaiah Pacheco, 11 carries for 26 yards, 2.4, a touchdown and a fumble, and he got hurt. Kind of funny the way he got hurt. He got his helmet taken off, and then he tries being super tough and running, ends up getting trucked, hits his lineman's knee on his head and gets a concussion. So pretty Looney Tunes way to get injured. As you can see here, there was 31 31 first downs. Not a lot of offense was played here. A very defensive game. 3 for 12. Held them to 25% on third downs against the Chiefs, which is very, very good. But yeah, the turnover battle was won. The Chiefs had 9 more minutes of possession time, and they still could only put up 14 points. A very pathetic loss for the Chiefs. The 3 o'clock, we had the Eagles and the Giants. As you can see here, Tyrod Taylor ended up coming in for Tommy DeVito. Didn't really do that much of a difference. This game did come down to kind of the end, but they kind of fought back. The Eagles didn't have a great game. This was a pretty, I would say not. This was one of the worst wins I believe they had this season. Very ugly win, but luckily in the NFL, a win is a win. DeAndre Swift had 20 carries, 92, 1 touchdown. Saquon had a pretty decent game, 23, 80, and a touchdown. Darius Slayton had an okay game. Devontae Smith had a great game. But as you can see here, we did have 42 first downs. A lot of offense. The ball was moving here. The Eagles definitely lost the turnover battle. They won the time of possession. But, this game, the Giants could easily have easily took this if they were a little bit more efficient on the offense. But nothing really going there. Last game of the week, we did have the Ravens and the 49ers. The Ravens had a pretty efficient game pretty much throughout on all 3 phases. The offense was very efficient. Defense was very stout and very greedy. They just completely shut down the 49ers in every category and, made Brock Purdy very one-dimensional. Ends up getting hurt, and they just put in Sam Darnold. And honestly, they looked a little bit better, with Sam Darnold there. He did have a pick, but you can say that Sam Darnold looked good because for the 49ers, you can put anyone at quarterback, and it's pretty much going to be the same outcome. As you can see here, time possession. The 49ers did lose that as well. But, 16 penalties. Laundry was out over here. But pretty big domination for the Ravens here. Best record in the league at the moment in terms of power ranking, which is, it's still kind of weird to say. Like, the Ravens are still kind of slept on, I feel like. But, that's all the games for Week 16. We're going to move on to this upcoming week. I am recording this on Friday, so I did, the Thursday game has already went. I was going to pick the Browns before that. I did do my picks, some of my picks on Wednesday. I did have the Browns winning this, so I did get the Thursday game correct. Saturday, we do have the Lions and the Cowboys. This is going to be, I believe, a very close game. This is a coin flip. Pretty much anyone can win here. I do have the Cowboys winning this, though. Won't be surprised at all if the Lions take this, though. For the Sunday 12s, we have the Dolphins and the Ravens. I'm pretty torn between who to choose here. I think I'm gonna go with the Ravens. I think they're just a little bit hotter at the moment. I think they're a little bit more efficient just at the moment. Would not be surprised if the Dolphins take this win though. But I definitely want to see the Ravens kind of continue their little streak here. But the Dolphins are a very scary team in terms of putting up points, and you can fall behind very quickly. Texans and the Titans. I do have the Texans winning. I'm not trusting Ryan Tannehill if he plays again. Will Levis, I believe, will get the start here, but I believe C.J. Stroud's coming back. Big division game. I don't think either quarterback is going to miss this, but I think the Texans are going to just take this home. Wouldn't be surprised if the Titans win, especially with the run game. Patriots and the Bills. I do have the Bills. Patriots got very lucky against us. We're not better than the Bills, but I do have the Bills winning this. Rams and the Giants, I do have the Rams. I don't think either quarterback is better than Matthew Stafford to win this game. Next, we have the 49ers and the Commanders. I do have the 49ers. They struggled with the Ravens. I doubt they're going to struggle with the Commanders, especially with the lack of defense that they play. Cardinals and the Eagles. Eagles should have no business blowing out the Cardinals there. Saints and the Bucks. I do have the Bucks winning this. I don't see the Bucks losing this game at home. Maybe if it was in New Orleans, I would have probably picked the Saints, but the Bucks losing at home, it's hard to see with this one. Panthers and Jags. I do have the Jags. I would not be surprised if the Panthers win this game. Trevor Lawrence has been playing very, very poorly, and if this Panthers defense can get after him, I think that they can sneak this win in. On the Falcons and the Bears, I do have the Bears winning this. This game can go either way. I just think the Bears are a little bit better than the Falcons. Would not be surprised if the Falcons win this game at all. But I just feel like the Bears offense is a little bit better than the Falcons defense. Last 12 o'clock game, I believe there was 10 12 o'clocks for this day. The Raiders and the Colts. I do have the Colts winning this game. I think that, I don't know, the Raiders were also very efficient against the Chiefs. I think I might actually have to go with the Raiders here. The Raiders, if they can, put out the Chiefs, there should be no reason that they shouldn't put out the Colts. Next, we have the Steelers and the Seahawks. I do have the Seahawks winning this game. I think that the Steelers defense is still, they had one great game. Let's see if they can replicate that. Next, we have the Chargers and the Chargers and the Broncos. I do have the Broncos winning this just because it's at home, and I feel like this team is already pissed off. The whole Russell Wilson thing, him getting cut next year. Everyone's just talking mad crap about the roster and everything. I think this team is going to come out and win these last two games just to kind of shut up everybody, end the season strong at least. Next, we have the Bengals and the Chiefs. I do have the Chiefs winning this. There's no way that I see Jake Browning going into Kansas City and beating the Chiefs. No way. Next, we have Sunday night. We have the Packers and the Vikings. I do have the Packers winning this. I just feel like they're able to play a little bit more efficiently. They don't turn the ball over as much as the Vikings do. And I feel like the run game is a lot better than the Vikings. But wouldn't really be surprised if the Vikings win, but the Packers should be able to take this. No Monday night game, just because we're getting close to the end here. But, yeah. But as you can see here, a lot of drama going on with my team, as per usual. Yeah, I guess we're just going to kind of have to see how everything plays out, but who knows? This is a very, very all over the place type of season for us, and I'm excited to see what this roster is going to look like next year. But I'm also nervous because we're going into rebuild mode right now, and I don't know how much we're tearing down. But either way, I will see y'all next Wednesday for Week 17 and Week 18 picks. And then the playoffs are here. So I will see you on next Wednesday. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Hopefully your team wins, unless you're the Chiefs. So, yeah. Deuces.